I'm Charles Chang, and a founder, and I run Lyra Growth Partners. We're an investment firm that focuses on early stage consumer brands that are fast growing, that have a tribe that we can hopefully help grow faster using our experience, our contacts, and our passion for all things consumer. I was born in 1970 in Taiwan, and we had to leave there when I was about 3 years old because my father was a political activist. And so we moved to California, where my dad went to school. And so me, my mom, and my dad lived in a 300 square foot dorm room for 2 years as he did his master's degree in political science. And then California didn't want immigrants. So my parents bought a Volkswagen Bug for $500, and we drove north. And the closest place that would accept immigrants, because we couldn't go back to Taiwan, was Vancouver, and that's where we started. My first real business, I was like 10 years old. I'd go to these local ponds, catch these little fish, jump on a bus with them in a bucket, and I would sell them at aquariums and pet shops. Some days I'd make like $50 or more selling these fish. I think because the aquarium owners probably felt sorry for me, or I'm sure they probably wasn't gonna be legal to sell these fish, but they supported me, and I remember that's my first real business, because I always was hustling, wanting to do things. So when I graduated from high school, I had two options, or so I thought: UBC and SFU. I didn't even know there were universities outside of that. So I chose UBC originally, went there to study sciences, and I literally failed out of there miserably. Ended up going to Langara, almost failing out of there, before making a sort of a final period turnaround, and actually did quite well there once I really got shooken up that if I couldn't do here, I'd be nowhere. And then I applied back to UBC, and they wouldn't have me. They said, well, we'll take you back, but you have to go back to sciences. So then I applied for SFU, and they said, well, we don't take UBC failures, but we'll make a probational acceptance for you. But when you come here, you have to maintain a 3.63 or something like that, A-. Otherwise, you're out of here. I'm like, holy crap, it means I have to keep studying. And I was always super appreciative of that, because once I was in business, I really found my calling, and the courses were easy, and the grades came easy. I didn't have to work that hard. It was very intuitive. Whereas in sciences, it took a lot more work. Maybe I wasn't prepared to do it. And maybe I just didn't have the aptitude the same way I do for business. So I'm eternally grateful for SFU for accepting me back, putting those tough conditions on me to make me have to work hard to succeed there. So my memories of SFU they're positive, but I didn't get a chance to do very much from a student life perspective. I always worked at least part-time, mostly half-time, and often full-time while attending SFU. I think SFU has a lot of that, like the silver spoons don't go to SFU. The hustlers go to SFU, the people that have to pay their own way go to SFU, the people that maybe have fewer opportunities go to SFU. Well, that creates a different, more entrepreneurial student, I believe, which is why I believe SFU can own entrepreneurship as a key differentiator, and what we try and do through our institute and through the work, with Sarah Lubick at SFU. It's huge. Co-op is super special to me, and I always remember going in front of the co-op board, looking for jobs, and when I didn't get my first job, I was so down my first time trying, and I remember Mira Klemensky, who ran co-op, said, don't worry, you're gonna get one, Charles. And I did the next semester, and that was at Capitol on Suspension Bridge, and guess what? I met my wife, Eve, there. She was working the trading post, 17 years old, and I ran the barbecue and concession, and that's where we met and got married a bunch of years later and still together today. So, SFU has many great memories for me.